Welcome to the deep dive. You've brought us some really interesting material today, focusing on vaginal health and specifically pelvic organ prolapse.
That's right.
Our goal today is really to dive into these sources, pull out the key insights, and, give everyone listening a clearer picture of what's happening here. So we'll be focusing specifically on pelvic organ prolapse, POP, and these related ulcerations, how they impact overall vaginal health.
Yes, looking at causes, effects management, and the role of probiotics too.
Exactly. And we've got a note here to make sure we talk about a product called Balance Complex in relation to this, and also mention an offer for vaginalquiz.com later on. Okay, let's get into it. It's great you're digging into this.
Absolutely. And, what's immediately clear is how interconnected everything is down there.
Right.
We start with pelvic organ prolapse, POP. Fundamentally, it's a structural thing. The muscles, the tissues that hold up your pelvic organs, they weaken. And when that support system isn't working as well, organs like your bladder, maybe the uterus or rectum, can start to sort of descend.
Yeah.
Drop down into the vaginal canal, or sometimes even outside.
And that's the direct cause of these ulcerations we're talking about.
That's a link, yeah.
It's not just vague discomfort. The sources actually describe them as, physical sores on the vaginal walls.
Exactly. Actual sores. And they develop because of the prolapse itself. It's a direct mechanical consequence of those organs being, out of place.
So when the organs shift.
Right. They create unusual pressure points, friction, rubbing against the vaginal walls. And those delicate tissues just aren't built for that kind of constant stress.
Okay, I'm picturing it like a shoe that rubs constantly on your heel. Eventually you get a sore spot, a blister.
That's a really good analogy, actually. It helps visualize how that prolapsed organ is creating continuous friction and pressure.
Makes sense.
And these aren't just minor irritations. The sources point to four main reasons why these ulcerations happen with POP. First, as we said, that direct friction and pressure, just the constant rubbing.
Okay, that constant rubbing breaks down the tissue over time, leads to sores. Got it. What's number two?
Number two is reduced blood flow. Think about it, when an organ presses down, it can actually squeeze the tiny blood vessels in the vaginal wall.
Oh, right.
So less blood gets in, meaning less oxygen, fewer nutrients. And importantly, it hinders the tissue's ability to heal itself.
So even a small irritation is less likely to just clear up on its own. It can escalate more easily because the healing is compromised.
Precisely. The body's repair crew can't get there effectively.
Okay, that really clarifies things. The third cause mentioned is infection. Does the ulceration come first, then the infection?
Generally, yes, that's the sequence. The ulceration creates an open sore, like a breach in the defenses.
A doorway.
Basically, yeah. An entry point for bacteria or fungi that might normally be present but kept in check, or maybe introduced. The whole vaginal environment might already be a bit off because of the prolapse and the poor blood flow.
So the local defenses are down.
Exactly. It makes it easier for these opportunistic infections to take hold. Things like BV, yeast infections, maybe even UTIs if bacteria travel up.
And the infection probably makes the ulceration worse.
It absolutely can. It causes more inflammation, discharge, pain. It can become this, vicious cycle. The sore invites infection. The infection makes the sore worse, making it even more vulnerable.
Right. That interconnectedness again. And the fourth factor was hormonal changes, specifically in postmenopausal women.
Yes. After menopause, estrogen levels naturally decline. Estrogen is, it's crucial for keeping vaginal tissues thick, elastic, and lubricated.
Okay.
So lower estrogen often means more vaginal dryness. The tissues become more fragile, less resistant to friction.
So if you have POP and you're postmenopausal, the friction hits harder because the tissue is already more vulnerable from the dryness.
You've got it. It makes ulcerations more likely to form, and they might heal more slowly, too.
Wow. Okay, so physical pressure, poor blood flow, hindering healing, infection risk in the sores, and then hormones making the tissue weaker. That's a complex picture.
It really is.
Now, what about the impact of these ulcerations? The sources say it's more than just local discomfort.
Oh, definitely. It throws off the whole vaginal ecosystem. We touched on the infection risks, BV, UTIs, yeast, because that protective barrier, the intact vaginal lining, it's compromised.
And it's not just the infection, but the body's reaction.
Yes, exactly. Persistent irritation, infection. They trigger inflammation. And while that's a natural defense, chronic inflammation causes ongoing discomfort, pain, actually makes it harder for the ulcerations themselves to heal. It can be really distressing.
And the source mentioned disrupting the vaginal microbiome. We hear a lot about that. How do the ulcers specifically mess with that balance?
Well, a healthy vaginal microbiome is usually dominated by good bacteria, lactobacilli. They keep the pH low, acidic, which stops harmful microbes from growing easily.
Right.
When you have ulcerations, the tissue is damaged, the environment changes locally, it becomes less friendly for those good lactobacilli.
Allowing other things to grow?
Yeah, less helpful bacteria or fungi can start to multiply. This imbalance can, in turn, make the ulcerations worse or more prone to infection. It's a two-way street.
It all links together. And then there's the emotional and physical discomfort mentioned. Seems obvious having sores there would be uncomfortable.
It goes deeper, though. Issues like this can really affect a woman's confidence, her intimate life, her quality of life overall. Constant discomfort, maybe worrying about odor or discharge. It can lead to anxiety, impact self-esteem. It's a sensitive area.
Absolutely. Okay, so given all these challenges, what do the sources suggest for managing and preventing these POP-related ulcerations? Sounds like it needs a multi-pronged approach.
It really does. And the absolute first step, emphasized in the material, is seeing a healthcare provider, a gynecologist, a pelvic health specialist.
Get a proper diagnosis.
Exactly. Assess the prolapse, the ulcerations, figure out the best treatment. That might mean topical antibiotics or antifungals if there's infection, or maybe topical estrogen, especially postmenopausally, to help strengthen those tissues.
Makes sense. This source also mentioned vaginal support devices, pessaries. How do they help with the ulcers specifically?
Pessaries are devices inserted into the vagina. They basically provide physical support for the prolapsed organs.
Like a little scaffold.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
By holding the organs more in their proper place, they reduce that direct friction and pressure on the vaginal walls.
Ah, so they tackle the root mechanical cause of the rubbing.
Precisely.
What about just day-to-day care? Hygiene?
Good question. The advice is gentle cleaning. External area only. Warm water, maybe a mild pH balanced cleanser. Definitely avoid harsh soaps or douching.
Why no douching?
Douching can really mess up the natural balance. It washes away the good bacteria along with anything else, leaving you potentially more vulnerable. So gentle is key.
Okay, gentle. Got it. Hydration and moisturizers were also mentioned.
Yep. Staying well hydrated helps all your tissues. And if dryness is an issue, especially postmenopausally, using vaginal moisturizers or lubricants can reduce friction during daily life, even intimacy, making tissue less prone to damage.
Makes sense. And pelvic floor exercises, Kegels. We hear about those for POP generally.
We do. Strengthening those pelvic floor muscles helps improve the overall support structure.
So less prolapse.
Potentially, yeah. Or at least reduce the severity over time. Less prolapse means less pressure, less friction. So while Kegels might not directly heal an ulcer, they're part of the long-term management plan, helping prevent things from getting worse.
Okay. And that brings us to probiotics. The source really highlighted these. Why are they seen as so crucial here?
Probiotics, especially those with the good lactobacillus strains, are all about restoring and maintaining a healthy vaginal microbiome balance.
Right, getting the good guys back in charge.
Exactly. And that healthy balance is key for preventing infections, reducing inflammation, and supporting the body's own tissue healing.
So with ulcerations.
Probiotics can help replenish beneficial bacteria that might be low, create a kind of protective shield against harmful microbes trying to colonize those sores, and just foster a healthier environment overall that's better able to heal itself. Some of these strains even work together, like acidophilus setting the right pH, which helps rhamnosus do its healing support work better. It points towards using multiple strains.
Supporting the body's natural defenses. Okay, so this leads us right to the product mentioned in our note, Balance Complex. Introduced as a holistic vaginal probiotic solution, specifically for POP-related ulcerations. What stands out about it from the source material?
Well, several things. It's positioned as the original vaginal probiotic, mentions being on the market over 10 years, lots of capsules sold.
Okay.
They highlight a high probiotic concentration, 100 billion CFU per gram, and interestingly, it includes cranberry and D-mannose.
Ah, things usually linked to urinary tract health.
Right. The idea is they help stop bacteria sticking to the walls of both the urinary tract and the vagina. It suggests a recognition of how closely linked vaginal and urinary health are, especially when prolapse is involved.
And it mentions a lot of positive reviews, over 17,800 five-star ones on Amazon. That's quite significant.
It is. And they mention a maximum strength 17-in-1 strain blend, targeting odor, itching, discharge. Sounds very comprehensive.
Quality checks, too.
Yeah, non-GMO, made in FDA-registered GMP-certified facilities, plus a money-back guarantee via Amazon. That offers some reassurance for people trying it.
Let's look at those ingredients a bit closer. The probiotic blend has specific lactobacillus strains, Acidophilus, Rhamnosus, Reuteri, Blantarum, and Bacillus coagulans. What benefits does the source link to these?
Okay, so acidophilus is mentioned for maintaining that low acidic pH, crucial for keeping bad microbes out. Rhamnosus for boosting immune defenses and promoting tissue healing, very relevant for ulcers. Reuteri is noted for stabilizing the microbiome and reducing inflammation. Plantarum for antioxidant protection and tissue repair support. And Bacillus coagulans for long-term microbial balance. It seems like a multi-pronged attack.
A real team effort from the microbes.
You could say that.
And the cranberry neem and nose blend, again, preventing bacteria from sticking.
That's the idea, particularly E. coli. Reduce adherence, reduce infection risk that could complicate the ulcers.
Oregano leaf extract is in there too. Sounds antimicrobial.
It is. Known for natural antimicrobial properties, potentially fighting harmful bacteria and fungi without wiping out the good guys, according to the source. Useful near the ulcerations.
And caprylic acid for yeast.
Yes, it's an antifungal fatty acid. Helps keep candida yeast from overgrowing, which is a common issue when balance is off.
Then protease and cellulase enzymes, what do they do?
The source says they help break down biofilms. Think of biofilms as sticky shields that bacteria and fungi build. Disrupting those shields might help the probiotics and other ingredients work better against any problem microbes hiding there.
Interesting. Aloe vera leaf, that makes sense for soothing.
Definitely. Known for soothing and anti-inflammatory effects. Could offer relief for irritated tissue around the ulcers and maybe aid healing.
And there's more. Arabinogalactin for immune support, anise seed for antimicrobial and anti-inflammatory effects, black walnut hulls, wormwood for antifungal, antibacterial actions, and reishi mushroom for inflammation and immune support. Wow.
It's quite a list. It really does seem designed to target multiple aspects relevant to these ulcerations.
So the source argues balance complex is important here because it aims to restore balance, prevent infection, reduce inflammation, and support tissue repair.
That's the summary, yes. Addressing the key challenges presented by POP-related ulcerations by supporting a healthier vaginal environment overall.
Okay. Now, toward the end here, there was the mention of vaginalquiz.com. Remind us what that is, spelled vaginalquiz.com.
Right. It's presented as a quick online quiz, science-backed they say, giving women a personalized vaginal health analysis in under 2 minutes.
What's the goal?
To help women understand things like recurring infections, dryness, low libido, or just general concerns they might have about that area.
Like a first step in figuring things out. What are the benefits?
It's highlighted as fast, free, and private. You take the quiz, get a custom breakdown of your vaginal health profile based on your answers, info on potential imbalances, and then some expert-backed suggestions.
Suggestions like what?
Could be supplement recommendations, maybe habit changes tailored to what you reported.
So a bit like a cheat sheet, as the source calls it, getting some insights without maybe the immediate awkwardness of a doctor visit or getting lost online.
That seems to be the idea. A way to gain initial understanding and guidance, encouraging women to be proactive. The source invites listeners to check out vaginalquiz.com if it sounds useful.
Okay, great. So we've covered a lot today. The clear link between POP and ulcerations, how those sores impact vaginal health, the different management strategies including professional help, hygiene, support devices, and the potential role of probiotics like Balance Complex, and vaginalquiz.com as a resource.
Yeah, the big takeaways really are how POP creates these physical vulnerabilities, these ulcerations. And they aren't minor. They disrupt the microbiome, raise infection risk, cause real discomfort. So a proactive approach, seeing a doctor, good hygiene, supporting that microbiome seems really crucial based on this information.
So for everyone listening, what does this deep dive really underscore? It really brings home how interconnected pelvic health is with your overall well-being, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Taking care of this area isn't just symptom management. It's about understanding the why and proactively supporting that healthy balance. Maybe thinking about the information today, maybe exploring something like vaginalquiz.com could be a nudge to look into things further, perhaps talk to your own healthcare provider.
It's definitely food for thought. Your pelvic health is a significant piece of your overall health picture.